Okay, so good morning. It is April 19th. It is Monday, and we are starting Taurus season this evening. So moving from Aries into Taurus energy, I mean, obviously something we do every year, so it's not like, whoa, I can't believe it's happening. And yet, moving from fire sign to earth sign is quite a different energy. Much needed. Much needed, and here's why. We have been in such a internal energetic upgrade, just basically doing so much work on the inside for months and months and months. We are rewiring how we interact with the world around us in ways that might seem small at first, but have compounded upon each other and become pretty huge. So looking back at the past few months, we're in the 4th month of this year. Looking back on that, how have you changed the way that you interact with your life? Maybe your life hasn't personally changed that much, but how has your interaction with it changed? Do you get agitated the same way that you always got agitated? Do you find pleasure in the same things that always brought you pleasure? What has shifted? Do you see color differently? Do you smell things differently? Do you feel things differently on your skin? Is your body reacting differently to stimulus now? Are there foods that you no longer can eat? Look at all of these things, because these are all indications of changes that have happened to you on an internal level, okay? And sometimes we, keep our traumas as personalities, right? So where we say, like, this is my personality quirk, it may have actually been the product of keeping a trauma around that you've actually released, and now that quirk has gone away as well. So look at those things. Look at those things that have been happening for you, because now what's going to happen as we move into Taurus season, all of that work that you've been doing is about to translate into the physical world around you. So you've been putting all this energy into something, right? You have thoughts, you have ideas, you have dreams. If you've been in restoration with me, as many of you have been, you've been working towards different manifests with your creation energy. It's about to pop off, guys, like literally in this world right now. So are you ready? It's one thing to hypothetically do your manifesting and say, that would be nice if that happened, but I don't really believe it's going to. What happens if everything that you're asking for pops into your life in the next few weeks? What will you do? Are you prepared for it? I'm going to say you are, but this is a question for you. So looking at Taurus season is going to be that. It's going to be things coming into physical reality. So it's a lot of abundant energy, good luck energy. It's a bolster of support for anything you've been working on. And that's really, really much needed, because Aries season, while it had those moments of fire, it was also a lot of internal fire stuff, right? It was putting the fire on a lot of areas within ourselves, and it felt remarkably close to Pisces season, even though we were in Aries. And for some of us, that was not a cool thing. Everyone experienced it differently. For me, it was so much more introspection. But here's what I have learned that I'll share with you about the differences in interacting with this energy. You know about the principle of non-attachment, right? And a lot of times that is a concept that we don't understand how to translate that without imagining that being non-attached means not having emotion and not feeling love or connection to other people. And that's not what it means. I have had a crash course in non-attachment in the past month and a half, and it is not that you don't feel things. It is not that you are not intricately involved in your life and all of the things that are happening, because you still are. However, the energy of whatever's happening doesn't permeate you to the point that it sinks you. You are able to pull out and see things in a more neutral perspective so that you're not popping off from a space of anger, fear, anxiety, depression, sadness, whatever it is. You're able to take a minute and say, I see what is happening here. I see how I'm feeling about this. I see what they're feeling about this. I see the bigger picture. And I'm able to interact with this at a higher level. And so you're not as attached to the outcome of any one particular thing, because you know that in any situation, there are millions of outcomes, and you're trusting in the divine flow. You're trusting in the work you've been doing to bolster you and guide you towards the highest option for you in that now moment. And when you can do that, when you can trust fall with the universe in that way, it does work. You just have to actually believe that that's what you're doing, right? So non-attachment does not mean that you are not in your life. It does not mean you don't care. It does not mean that when something happens, you don't have any feelings about it. It's more that you are not led and controlled by your reactionary feelings to stimulus in your life. You feel them and you realize you are not them. You are you always. You are not your knee-jerk emotions. So you can have your knee-jerk emotions and not live in that space. I hope that makes sense, because it's been kind of a revelation for me to realize this, because in so many ways, like, not to talk about me all the time, but in so many ways, my life has been less dramatic this year, and yet it hasn't necessarily been without the same kind of drama that is always available to me, right? Because look, I'm a Scorpio, Sag moon, and Cancer rising. I mean, we do what we do, right? But I don't feel lost in it, and I don't feel controlled by it, and I accept the fact that a lot of the times I'm making choices that bring this kind of energy in for whatever reason, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with saying, yeah, I take ownership of the fact that I've made a decision, and the consequences of this decision, this is the energy that's going to come back to me, because it always does. It's not shocking anymore, right? So I hope that's helpful for you, because as we move further into Taurus season, you're going to see things happen faster. They're going to translate much faster into your physical reality. And this is going to keep ramping up as you move through the year. So start to get used to that. Start to get used to, you say something and then like something happens. Get used to that and start to respect it, and to stay in a place of sovereignty, and to be very mindful of what you do say, because this is doing stuff. This is doing stuff. This is doing stuff. And the more that you can stay in your heart center, speak only truth, really align yourself, you will see so much magic happen around you, and it is going to be a lot of fun. And I truly, truly mean that. Now, we have to talk about Taurus season in other ways too. Taurus energy is obviously grounded. It is also very into physical pleasure. So this is going to be the season where you maybe wear things that make you feel just a bit more elevated, right? Where you take care of your body and feed it what it's asking you to feed it. Where you get adequate sleep. Where you take the time to move slowly through your life to enjoy the textures around you. One of the things that has been coming through so strongly right now is presence, and understanding how much of your best and highest life you already have right now in this moment. So Taurus season is going to highlight those things if you're ready to look at them. What ways can you bring luxury into your life right now? What ways are you already living that way? What things are around you that are bringing you joy? What can you do every day that will put you in a vibration that makes you feel good? How do you make you feel good? How do you treat you like the god or goddess that you are? How do you do that? Ask yourself, and then make movements in that direction, because It's what the energy is supporting right now. And you need that. We all need that. If we cannot love, cherish, and take care of this body that we have, this beautiful, incredible, malleable, magical body that we have been gifted to walk around on this particular planet, if you can't care for that, who else can, right? And if you can't care for this body, if you can't love and respect it, you can't show others how to do that either, right? Because how do you do it? If you're not doing it yourself, how could you possibly? People don't necessarily learn lessons when you tell them what to do. People learn by observing what others are doing for themselves and putting out into the world. So I could talk to you until you're blue in the face about something that totally makes sense. But if you are not in an energy of receiving that, if you are not in a place where you can actually see it tangibly and how it fits into your life, it doesn't matter, right? So living your truth is the first step to being of assistance. I know so many of you want to help, want to be of assistance, want to be there to support other people in your life. And I am telling you right now, the first person you need to support is you. And when you have that squared away, the rest takes care of itself, and the steps will come, and the information will come, and people will come in to assist you with it. It all works beautifully that way. But number one is you. And Taurus season is asking you to look after number one, to let the magic happen. Let me ask you a question. If all of your wishes came true, if you had plenty of abundance, whatever that means to you, that you could have freedom in your life and do whatever you choose to do, would you accept it? Would you feel worthy of having that kind of energy in your life? Because that's a question you need to ask yourself. If you don't feel it, don't expect it to come, because you are not aligned with that energy. Whatever energy you are aligned with in the now moment, that is what is coming to you. The universe doesn't work off of a projection of an energy that you would like to have. It works off of what you are doing right now. So every day, do one or two things that vibrates you into that space, whatever it is, and allow yourself to elevate in that way and be kind. So we have some cards to pull for Taurus season. Obviously, the fairies are here. And side note, I believe this is the 19th. So we have our in-person event on Friday, which is going to be an in-person activation. And I realize it's so vague, like what the hell is an activation? But basically that's my container for me to do whatever needs to be done in the moment when you're there. So sometimes it's energy work, sometimes it's channeling. It's always a mix of both, honestly. And then we do some sort of meditation that connects you with different energies. And what I'm pulling through for this Friday very strongly is fairy energy. So that should be fun. That's always a good time. So that is on Friday at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. There's no cap on it because it's outside. So if you are interested in joining, if you click the booking link, I think that will take you there. And if you're on Instagram, you can always find it in my profile. So that is coming up on Friday. I look forward to seeing some of you beautiful people in person. It's always nice to do that. All right, let's see. Let's see what the fairies have to say. I swear to God, every time I shuffle this deck, I'm like, what's coming? I knew it. Okay, wow. Guys, I'll tell you in a second. Half of you already know, but we have clarifying cards, thank God, because I had a feeling. This morning update's about to take a left turn. Are you ready? And I don't even have my coffee. All right. I'm surprised I don't see any people guessing what this card is. I know you know which one it is. All right. So it's a little bit of a doozy this morning. Even the clarifying cards are being doozy. So obviously it's Ragnarok who is here for Taurus season, which I think is really fucking funny. I think it's, first of all, Tilda Swinton, right? Right? But I think this is funny because, I'm sorry, I have to laugh. See, everybody knows, I knew it. We just can't get rid of the fire. What can we say, right? All right, so here's Ragnarok. Oh, fuck. Okay. And then, I can't believe it. I mean, I can. I should just stop using this deck, right? They won't let me stop. Okay. Our clarifying cards from the Avalon deck is the Mystery. And then we have Merlin. Okay. So let me tell the story for you. All right, here's the story. The Ragnarok card is feeling very much like an as above, so below situation. So tensions are mounting on the collective stage, especially here in the United States. There are things happening that we are not seeing in the news. There are a lot of violent altercations happening right now. Violence against women, minorities especially, and a push towards an energy of revolution. This is okay. It's shitty, but this is Ragnarok energy. So as this is happening, we have to realize that we are not on the front lines of well, I should put this a different way. You have to realize that we are only in awareness of where we are in awareness. So you can only live in your life. You don't get to live in somebody else's life, right? You can only be in your body, experiencing things from your perspective. So it's important to remember that while all of this collective insanity is happening, there is likely to be something that's happening on a much smaller scale for you personally this week and possibly next week, moving into Taurus season. What is that? I don't know, but you probably have an idea. Ragnarok energy is the Tower card of the fairy deck. And the Tower card is very abrupt, it is very complete, and it is very destructive, but with intent, because this is chaos creation energy, okay? So when things are knocked down to studs, you're able to rebuild. You cannot build something new on a foundation of something old and rotten. And they're kind of showing me how we have been delaying this and drawing it out because too many people want things to go back to how they were. So with that energy, you have this push-pull, right? Where it's like, no, don't change. Can you just go back to how it was? I felt safe there somehow. And you have this tug of war that's not stopping the movement. It's just drastically slowing it down. So while we have had lots and lots of Tower energy this year, we continue to have it because we don't allow it to play out in its full potent energy. Think about that for your life. What have you not allowed to completely play out in its full chaotic destructive energy? What have you been holding together that you do not need to hold together anymore? What do you need to let burn, right? So, yay, there we go. Now, the other two cards, we have the Mystery and we have Merlin. This is totally different energy than this chick over here, right? this is coming through with a message of excitement and hope for you. Let go of whatever it is that needs to fall to pieces. If it needs to come back in a new iteration, you actually have the power to make that happen. But you can't let it transform if you don't let it go. You have all the alchemical ability to create any scenario you want in your life, but you can't do it if you don't let it go first. And as I'm saying it, I do hear myself, and I am hearing it for me too. It's very annoying. The mystery is here to literally remind you that you cannot possibly know all of the outcomes. You never do. In fact, if you were to just take a pause and look at your life right now and say 10 years ago, would you have believed that this was your life? Would you have believed that this is what you're up to? Would you have believed that this is what makes you happy? I wouldn't have. Hell no. I would not have even recognized this Sarah. And that's okay. Whenever I have that flip perspective and whenever you can do that for yourself, you realize how incredibly potent your ability to change is, your ability to move into new energy. 10 years might as well be a million, right? Time doesn't matter though. And you can create these shifts now in an instant. So are you ready for them? Are you ready to trust that mystery? Are you ready to trust yourself and your own intuition? Are you ready to believe that you have that power within you? You have that dragon inside of you. Are you ready? And can you let it go? Let it burn. Fire is very purifying. So, wow, I was not expecting that this morning, and yet, why the hell not, right? So, wow, okay. Well, happy Monday, happy Taurus season. I will be putting these cards on my stories and posting them in the Facebook page. And like I said, new thing, go follow the podcast, Coffee and Magic with Sarah Mala. I will be making a 5-minute update on this morning's live with the cards, and I'll read the book thing from here. So you'll have that and just give you the highlights so you can have a quick reference. So I'll be putting that up shortly. This video it will be available on YouTube, and it'll stay on Facebook and Instagram. If you need readings this week, I believe I have 3 left between Tuesday and Thursday. I can't remember which, but if you go on my thingy or in my stories, you can find it there and book through there. And restoration people, you can use your code. All right. And one last thing, relationship activation is coming up next week, and there's still space for that. So if you'd like to join us for that one, that'll be fun. And I hope you have an amazing Monday. I highly suggest getting outside today. Be outside. Outside is going to help you with all the things. Outside will help you deal with whatever your Ragnarok is. And when I say deal, I mean integrate and know in your body that it is what you need and it is what you want. Being outside saved my life last week, and I believe it is going to save my life again this week. So may we all get outside and partake in the beautiful gift that is Mother Nature to support us and help us integrate this crazy bananas 21 energy. So have a great Monday. Reach out if you need anything. If this has been helpful for you, please share with your friends, and I will see you Wednesday. And for restoration members, Tuesday night is our masterclass with Liz from Early Remedies, and we'll be talking all about plant medicine. Mwah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow.